Welcome to Intro2Astro 2024.
So hi everyone, my name is Yaguang Li, and I'm currently a postdoc at University of Hawaii. So I worked in many countries. So I was born in China, and then I went to undergrad in Beijing Normal University, and then I take a PhD graduate program at University of Sydney in Australia. And then I moved to Hawaii to begin my first postdoc. So that's where I am here. Should I just begin sharing
Yeah, just
the
a usual
okay.
Zoom.
Okay, cool. So let me share my screen probably. This is probably much easier.
Mhm.
So I think sorry, the CV guideline has already been uploaded on GitHub, so you can also follow that here. So when we're talking about CV, so CV is just really curriculum vitae, and it's basically a document that lists all of your previous accomplishments, your research experience, your past appointments, your publication records. And you will probably gonna need this at all stages of your career. For example, when you're applying for graduate programs, when you're applying for research internships, when you're applying, and even after you have a PhD degree, when you're applying for jobs, even in the industry, we are writing proposals, people will ask you for a CV. And you should have a CV sitting somewhere on your disk and well prepared. So CV is somewhat different from resume. So resume is a very short and condensed version of a CV, which usually only takes like one page. And in academics, CV is more common. And so that's basically the focus of our topic today. So what goes into CV? Like some common categories like your education background. For example, um, where do you get your undergraduate degree? Where did you get your PhD degree? Research experience. So this will be very useful if you're applying for some research-oriented jobs. Honors and awards, publications, and don't worry if you don't have any so far. And also if there are any conferences you attended, whether you presented any posters or talks from there, whether you have done any outreach work. So for a lot of applications, especially at earlier career stage, coursework, your GPA is also very important. So make sure you list them as well. Sometimes we also list our technical skills. For example, like which software or which programming language have been exposed to, something like that. And there are also other optional categories. For example, if you have any particular research interests, and if you have done any observing before, if you have used any HPCs, high performance computing before. So sometimes if the institute is specifically looking for candidates that have this kind of experience, you might also want to highlight those. Languages, extracurriculums, your references, and also news and media. And there are also some categories that don't belong, so you can give it a read. Okay, I guess most of you are at very earlier career stage and interested in applying for your next summer research project or grad school, research experience is probably one of the most important section in your CV, right? So for research experience, make sure that you clearly state your position title, your institution, name your advisor. The goal of the research is also very important because every compact small project comes with a goal. And also make sure that you highlight if there's any final output, whether it's a report, if it's a conference proceeding, or it's a poster, or it's a presentation, something to prove that you're able to complete all of the project and make a great presentation. And meanwhile, you also want to highlight the skills that you have used and developed. And I know some of the employers, when they look at people's CV, they might want specifically look for some of the skill sets. For example, if they are looking for people that are very good at programming, or they want to hire someone that can develop a software, if you can highlight some of those skills, then you have a better chance in getting into the pool. So there's also some tips about how to make a good CV. I don't know like these are true, but like I'm just gonna go through them anyway. So first of all, I think after today, we're gonna convince you or encourage you to have a CV on overleaf written as a LaTeX template. So remember, CV is an evolving document. So whenever you have some ideas on what you want to put in the CV, you can always go to that document and write it down. Even if it's not in the final polished version, it's fine. Um, the reason to do this is that because if you only update your CV when you're applying for jobs, then it's very easy to forget all the little nitty-gritty details that happen in your life. So it's always a good idea to keep your CV constantly updated. When you have an idea, write it down. And also, it's also a good idea to look at other people's CV to find some inspirations. So you might want to check out some of your favorite professors' personal websites. And their personal websites is usually the place they will upload their CV. So you can take a look from there. And you can find some inspirations and adapt from, learn from their styles and create your own styles. And also the CV in general is, we have like really, in the academia at least, we have really different expectations for CV at different career stage. For undergraduate, we, like if you're applying for a research program or graduate school, we require all of these basic information, as well as some demonstration of the research experience, right? And if you're a graduate student applying for entry-level postdocs or industry job, we're looking for publications, or we're looking for all of these plus publications. And postdoc is just more and more publications and some evidence of independent research. And the more advanced in your career stage, the more that they are expecting you to have. Like for example, for faculty, people are also looking for if you have experience for student advisory. Have you have any experience on grant application, proposals? Have you served on any committee? Have you done any outreach? And what are your management skills? Things like that. Okay, so the next advice is put your best accomplishments at the top. So it's very easy to write a super long CV, like maybe 3 or 4 pages or even longer than that. And employers, when they're looking at potentially hundreds of applicants, their CVs, they might not have enough time to carefully go through your CV line by line. So make sure that you highlight the most important messages, put the most important messages at the prominent places. For example, if you have a stellar publication record, so at the beginning of your publication list, you can say, okay, I have authored X number of first author paper, I've co-authored Y number of papers, my H index is this number, something like that. And if you're applying for example, an institute that is looking for observers, and you happen to have a lot of observing experience, then at the beginning of the observing experience, you can highlight, say, okay, I have observed with X number of nights and Y number of hours, something like that. And yeah, so put your best accomplishments at the top and make it prominent. And another advice is that I would also appreciate that the applicants would customize the CV for each of their application. So I know this is a lot of work, and sometimes I don't even do this. But just imagine that if an institute, for example, they are specifically looking for an observer, then if your CV is specifically tailored to that skill that they're looking for, you can imagine that can add a lot of points in our applications. And also, if, for example, if they're specifically looking for someone that's, very good at running simulations, running models, if you have applied this number of supercomputing time, you have run this kind of models before, you can definitely highlight those experience and tailor your CV to each of the application, to each of your institute that you're applying for. And also try to seek feedback. After you have a draft ready, ask your friend, ask your advisor, your mentor, get as many people as possible to review your essays. So I would personally think CV is also part of your research application material, is also part of the essay, including your statements, cover letters, your personal websites. So definitely listen to, seek advice from other people. And finally, if like after today, if you go through a lot of people, like your favorite professors' personal websites or CV, and you feel you're quite stressed about the experience, like they all have really stellar experience or whatsoever, don't be stressed. Remember that CV is not everything. It's only a document that detailed documents all of their previous accomplishments, and they surely have failures. They surely have setbacks, and everyone is different and unique, and it's okay to have setbacks. It's okay to take a non-traditional routes. I know a lot of people who take non-traditional routes, and eventually they also reach their goal. So yeah, definitely keep this in mind. So next, I think I'm just gonna pull out Overleaf and quickly demonstrate how to create your CV, a template for a CV. So the platform we're using is called Overleaf. So this is basically, you can imagine this is like a Google Doc, like an online document sharing system for LaTeX. So if you go to Overleaf, this link, and create account. Okay, am I sharing? Okay, I think I'm sharing. Yeah, and if you don't have account, I highly recommend to register one. The free version is pretty much usable, so you don't have to pay anything for it. And then after you're in this interface, you can just click the new project, and under the section templates, you can find there is one called Resume CV, and just click that. The Overleaf has already curated a gallery of resume and CV templates, and you can just go through most of them and find one that you feel is more aesthetically pleasing. Maybe this one. Okay, let's try this one. So once you click this, and you can click this open as template, and then it will open this template and also save this template as one of your project. So if I go back again to the Overleaf website, you can see this project has saved in my personal list of projects. So I can also just sorry, my screen is a little bit busy, so I'm just trying to moving things around. Okay, so you can just click this and get into the project and rename this however you want, like my CV, something like that. And you can also upload materials to your personal folders here on the left. So the basic structure of a Overleaf or LaTeX template is something like this. So first of all, it defines some basic information about this document, and then all the main information is under this begin document environment. So you can see that for this particular template, it have multiple sections. So the first section is education. The next is career objective. And then it's projects, technical strengths, so on and so forth. So for example, if I want to change something here, okay, let me try to highlight this. Okay, so if I want to try to highlight, change some the education content here. So what we would do is we modify the content inside the education. And then after modification, if we hit recompile here, and then I think the new content will automatically be refreshed in this part of the document. So here, for example, I didn't went to this school, so went to, for example, the University of Sydney, and then I hit recompile. Then you can see the text can be changed as such. So also, if you want to add or more lines, you can just follow this similar syntax and add more and more contents. Say, for example, if I want to add another experience, say this bit, so I just copy and paste it here and say, okay, if I went to University of Hawaii, and then I'll just say University of Hawaii here and hit recompile. And then you can see the University of Hawaii appear as the third education list here. So I think writing in LaTeX has a lot of tricks, and it might seem very difficult to write in LaTeX as a beginner. So whenever you have a problem, make sure that just Google it. And I think the Overleaf official website has a lot of useful suggestions on how to create your own document. For example, if I want to say, I want to create a table, then you just Google Overleaf create table, and then you can see that from Overleaf, there is a very extensive tutorials teaching you how to make those things happen.
Register now on bit.ly/Intro2Astro 2024.